Welcome everyone back to another live stream. Hope you're all having a beautiful weekend. Hope you had a good weekend at least. Nobody, good to see you, buddy. Yas, good to see you. Master, good to see you. Still Young, good to see you. Trust, Selfless, good to see you, brother. Zongo, good to see you. Simon, Mugen, BF, good to see everyone in the chat. Hope you're all having a good day. And the market's quite boring today. The reason is because it's Sunday. No one really wants to invest right now. Bitcoin's kind of staggering, going from 93k to 95, and then back down. This is quite normal. Everyone's just kind of waiting for the inflation data to come in on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I think the real move will start from there. Because whether we go down, which I think the most likely scenario is we could sweep if obviously if inflation goes back up. It's currently 2.7%. So if it goes back up to, let's say, 2.9, then I would say, the market is going to get spooked, because we had a scenario like this in the past. I think it was the 1940s, where inflation obviously came back down. Everyone thought inflation was done and over with. They started focusing on the unemployment market, and then inflation creeped back up, because what tends to happen is when inflation comes back around the second time, it tends to be a very aggressive move up. So it's not just a slow grind up, a controlled move up. It's a very aggressive move, and that could incentivize the Fed to increase interest rates one more time. And that will definitely, extend the market in terms of, whether we go back down to the previous lows, maybe around 70k, 75k. If that happens, obviously, I don't really see the Fed raising interest rates at the moment, unless inflation obviously goes above, let's say 3.3, 3.5, around those regions. If it goes back there in a very short period of time, next month inflation goes up, the month after inflation goes up, then it's very likely the Fed is going to intervene, and they are going to raise interest rates, which I don't personally think will happen, because, like I said, we are getting data for December, and like I said, in December, people like to spend more because of the holidays, because of Christmas. They like to buy more stuff. So there's obviously a lot more happening in the economy, and during the Christmas period as well, unemployment is very likely to go up, go down, because there's more jobs available. All these companies hire for Christmas because it gets really busy for them, and then afterwards the layoffs start happening. So this is, and a perfect example of this is back in 2024, July and August times. What happened was the Fed, the reason they cut 50 basis points in September was because they started getting nervous. Inflation was coming back down, but unemployment was shooting back up in a very aggressive manner, and that's why the Fed intervened and cut 50 basis points, aggressively, which is very aggressive cutting. And that's what kind of caused that rally initially, and obviously we've done back down. And then when Trump won election year, the market rallied back up. But now I think the Fed kind of cut into early, which kind of boosted unemployment, a little bit, strengthened the unemployment market, and now people are obviously getting a little bit nervous of inflation going back up, which I don't really think it will. We won't know until February data, because we're getting December data this on Tuesday and Wednesday. In February, it could reverse. Like I said, unemployment was concern in July and August. Unemployment is not a concern anymore. The same thing could happen again. Inflation is a concern at the moment. A month, 2 months later, it no longer becomes a problem. And you could have gotten shaken out in this period of time where the market isn't going anywhere. So that's something to take in consideration. I know a lot of people are kind of hesitant, uncertain. I don't think there's anything to be worried about until we get a few more data points. And the most, I would say the most concerning, one of the most concerning, but the reason the market isn't going anywhere is mainly because of the 10 years. The 10-year yield, longer the yield curve, is rallying. And I think, I genuinely think, the previous highs of 5% is a good region, I would say it most likely will top out around 5%. And that could take a couple of weeks. That could take another month to play out. But I don't really see, the longer the yield curve going above 5%. And the reason I say this is because if you go to the TOT, which is the 20-year bond, this is what, the debt basically, this is what the debt is. It tends to have, kind of like a triple bottom, because it's done this in the past, where it kind of comes down, bottoms out, same thing happens again, and then it rallies back up. And I think when this bounces back up, maybe it will drop right here, maybe have another bounce up and then come down one more time. That will most likely lead to a bounce in the TLT, which will also mean the 10-year will most likely top out, and this will start coming back down again. And that will give, riskier assets more room to grow. And then obviously if the 10-year goes down, so will the dollar. This bounce on the dollar is what's causing a little bit of concern in the market. Gold obviously has also bounced, because whenever there's uncertainty in the market, people, smart money, well, the big players, you could say, just tend to go either gold or cash for safety net. That's it. All right, let me just double check everything's fine. Bad sound. What about now? Is the sound okay now? Fucking Gable. Well, I check it now. Is it fine? I don't know why the fuck it does it. But there's no way I just spend 10 minutes waffling. I just spent 10 minutes waffling for nothing, bro. What the fuck? Bro, I just spent 10 minutes waffling for no reason, bro. Now I have to start all over again. Oh, man. I need to start doing this every live stream, bro. Fuck's sakes, man. Now, all good. Are you sure? Yo, that's crazy, bro. Yeah, I think I got this. Is Jamie, you're right, bro. This is actually a pedo mic. Anyways, boys, let's get back into it. As I said, when there's uncertainty in the market, what tends to happen is gold goes up, the dollar goes up, because people like to get into cash when there's uncertainty. But until we get, I think I would start worrying if I see inflation above 3.2%. I would say the market could be extended to another, we might see an alt season maybe in Q3, Q4 of 2025. That's a scenario that everyone has to take in consideration. So you have to be able to stomach, a little bit more sideways action for like maybe another 6 months or something, if the inflation data goes above 3.2%, because that is, that's quite high. That's what we was back in, I think it was late 2022, early 2023, which means we're going backwards. So that is a scenario we could have to, it's something to consider at least. It's not my base case. It's not my base case because I see the 10 years topping out at 5%. I think at 5%, more people will be interested in the bond market, and therefore the TLT will bounce. This will bounce, which when this bounces, it results into the 10-year going back down as well. So, I think at 5%, there will be a little bit more interest in the bond market and riskier assets. And I think the dollar should top out as well, because the dollar's been rallying very aggressively. Very, very aggressively. It's like the same thing happened here, right? So, back in 2022, dollar kind of bounced, and then after support, I can't really show the support, but the support over here, it bounced and then it rallied back up. Came down here, the support was over here, it bounced and rallied back up. So, maybe 110, maybe 111 for the dollar is realistic, but let's see. That all depends on the next couple of months of data. But I'm an AI agent, bro. That's why you guys don't realize. That's why I sounded like that, because I had my AI agent on the on the on the mic. But that's basically the macros. I think the market won't go anywhere until until the market until we get the inflation prints. Trump hired Scott Besant, whatever his name is, who owns 500k worth of BTC ETF. I think that's quite bullish. I think all of these guys own BTC. I mean, look, if you're an advocate of BTC and crypto, and you are going to come into the White House, into America, the biggest economy in the world, of course you're going to be buying behind closed doors, because ideally these guys are going to be wanting to pump their own bags. It's like self-interest. When you got 500k, and they say they got 500k, I guarantee you they got way more than 500k. I reckon these guys got way more. That's what they got in the ETFs, but how much do you know they have in their private wallets as well? They got way more, so they're going to come in here, they're going to talk about crypto, they're going to pump their own bags, and eventually it will come back down, and everything, it's just how the market is going to end. Everything goes back down, and I think next time when the market goes back down, I think it'll be like 2022 QE, because I don't really see the Fed starting QE anytime soon, until everything is you kind of need a recession at the end of the business cycle in order for big QE to come. So whether we go into a couple of months, 5-6 months of a mini recession, or any type of recession, where everything kind of cools back off, unemployment's going high, inflation comes back down, and obviously they print their way back out, which kind of results in unemployment coming back down, rate cuts go back down aggressively, and more people start to hire again. But what happens in that scenario is, if you're buying altcoins during that big recession crash, which will probably happen maybe at the end of the year or something, then ultimately what will happen is you walk away with a lot of money, because I do think the next QE they start is going to be big QE. But they won't do it now when they're concerned about inflation. It doesn't make sense. So yeah, you would rather want unemployment to go back up, because that is what's going to cause for them to start QE. That's what always causes them to start QE, because unemployment goes back up, recession starts, inflation goes back up, they can't start QE. It doesn't make sense. It's like what Trump said. It's like, oh, interest rates are too high, inflation is too high. It's like, what the fuck does that even mean? Let me skip down past all the my comments. James, good to see you as well, buddy. I thought you was waffling, was I? I was waffling, but Khalid, my friend, appreciate the £10 as well. Thank you for your hard work for the pre-sale. I appreciate that, Khalid, brother. Tectum, yeah, Tectum's got the layer. Tectum's doing. Let me see how Tectum's doing. I'm not going to accumulate Tectum at the moment, just because I kind of want it to bottom out first. It looks like this is an area where it's kind of holding up, but I want to see what BTC does before I buy Tectum again. But if it does drop maybe to like the 4.5 region, I will be accumulating a bit more, because there's a lot of support there. That is basically pre-sale prices, and as long as the layer 1 works fine, which we will know in a few months, by February we'll know if the layer 1 works fine, then it doesn't make no sense not to buy Tectum. It doesn't make sense. I would be accumulating Tectum at that price, despite all the FUD. That guy, like the Tectum CEO, he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. It's just that he doesn't speak English. He doesn't have to communicate with his audience, with the community. But he knows what he's doing. That's why he's winning multiple awards. 87 to 88k, I would say so. Maybe a wick down, maybe to 85 possible. But I don't really see us going below 85k. The reason I say that is because once we go to that region, everyone's going to be expecting lower prices. It always happens. It's like, the people that say, can I sell now? Shall I de-risk now and buy back lower? I say to them, no, because when it goes to those regions, you're going to think it's going to go lower and you're not going to buy. That's what happens to everyone. They think every time it goes lower, they're going to go on Twitter. They're going to see a bunch of people, would saying, oh, yeah, the next level is 80k, the next level is 79k, and they're not going to buy. because they're going to think it's going to go lower and it never does. And that's how you get caught out not entering the market at the right time, because people get too greedy and they want to get the best prices. So, you have to just sometimes stomach the drop. But that's why I always say keep some cash on the side and never be 100% in the markets. And look how that's played out. You have a lot of opportunity. There's always dumps in a bull market. We are still in a bull market. There's always dumps in a bull market. So that's something to consider. I bought all AGI and AI tech and put 10K on each. Think I can? Oh, you're definitely 4x your portfolio, my friend. Definitely. I mean, you have to think, right? When the market flipped bullish, AGI pumped 3.5x from the August lows. So it tends to move. AI tech after Feb, yes, there's the selling pressure reduces greatly, like massively. Like there's like a 3x less selling pressure. So the less selling pressure means I think the buyers will outweigh it, because by then they'll have way more developments. They'll have the data center almost finished. They'll have more products. They're going to have more bands, and AI tech eventually will go up significantly. When Deepin becomes a hot narrative, apart from Ionet and AFA and all these other ones, they're like hundreds of millions in market cap. I think AI tech is genuinely the best Deepin project outside of those two, because you have to think, right? They got millions and millions of hardware that will be used to earn them a decent amount of money yearly, which they can use to promote the project, build new stuff, buy more machines. Eventually, like this is a good AI takes a good long-term hold. When you look at most other Deepin projects, they don't even have a docs team. They just come around when the narrative was hot, and most of them are dead now. There's no developments going on. AI tech is consistently developing. Yes, the price action hasn't been the best, but it most likely will get on Binance very soon, whether it's futures, whether it's spot. It might be futures first and then spot, which is still fine. But even that little spot pump, and I think if they're already going to get on crypto.com, they just go on the wallet. And instantly, it went on to do, 5 point something million daily volume, which is massive. Means there's still interest in the project. So that's something to consider with AI tech. I think AGI is starting to implement, tokenization of AI agents, which I think will be quite massive. Imagine you can tokenize an AI agent and then sell it to someone else, which I think is a unique feature in itself. And if they implement that, they will do very well. And obviously we all know alt's going to perform well eventually when we have a full blown. Just at the moment, people think that we're in an alt season. Technically we're not in an alt season, because even though Total Free did break out over here, but dominance is far too high for an alt season. This right here is an alt season. This can't be an alt season. This little drop it's not a little drop, but let's say from 61% to 55% is not an alt season. From 70% back down to 40%, that's an alt season. So we haven't really seen an alt season, and the reason we haven't seen an alt season is because of the macro environment. There's not enough, when the long end of the yield curve is going up, people don't go to the altcoins as a safety net. They go to either go to Bitcoin, or they go elsewhere, or sit in cash, or sit in gold. They're not going to come into Ethereum and buy Ethereum when the long end of the yield curve is going up and inflation is becoming a worry again. That's not a safety net. People either go into cash or something that's going to hedge against a drop if we do possibly drop. That's something to consider as well. Even virtual is taking a shit now. Feels good because we completely missed that shit. Well, if you miss something, I don't really like. Well, you can't catch everything, but there's a random coin that does 100x every other day. You can't catch all of them. You'd be lucky to catch one, but most of it is like meme coins with insiders. I think we can make some good trades the next few days before Trump gets into office. I think we can get some good trades. Yes, we can indeed, because the market might rally depending on what he does when he comes in. But I don't really think, Trump coming into office, the first thing he's going to do is talk about crypto. I think he's got bigger things to worry about before he gets to crypto. I do think he has bigger things to worry about. But slowly, he will start implementing, hopefully, the Bitcoin reserves. and that will bring a lot of interest in crypto. It will, especially to Bitcoin. And the game's theory could play out because when one country does it, other countries don't want to be left behind. China's now trying to legalize crypto. Russia is trying to do cross-border payments in crypto. So everyone, these other countries, Kenya just legalized crypto. There was El Salvador is actually having a Bitcoin reserve already. They've been adding to it slowly. So eventually, all these other countries are going to do it as well. It's only a matter of time. And once Trump comes in and he implements it, it's just going to be like an arms race for all these countries to get at least a little bit of Bitcoin, at least 1% of the portfolio or something. Troy, I don't even know what that is, bro. How do you know when it bottom out? Because you don't really know when it bottoms out. But like, for example, let's say Bitcoin goes down to 85K or something, right? It wicks down to 85K, the bottom of this region. What I tend to do is I like to put orders on my crypto lower down, way lower down. That's what I like to do. Put it like 15%, 20% lower than what the market price is. So, for example, let's say I want to buy prop base. Let's go to prop base chart, right? This is what I always do at least. Let's say I want to buy a prop base. Prop base is sitting at this region. So then I look, prop base could drop as low as 4.85 cents. It could, if the market really dumps, right? So then I'll put orders down there because that's what the support level is. There's a lot of support here. There's support build up here. It could wick down there, but you put orders down there. It may never hit, but if it does and the market bounces, you'll be up like 10, 20% instantly. And that's how you catch the exact bottom. But it doesn't always work out. That's the thing. That's why you DCA down. On the coins that you like, you DCA down because in 2 months' time, it doesn't matter if you bought here or you bought here. And when it goes up here, you're not going to care. You're going to be in good profits. It's just that people like to be very picky. And oftentimes, the very picky people tend to miss the boat. So I don't really like being too picky with any of my projects. If I like them long term, I'll keep accumulating them. And someone said, I was reading some of the comments. Some guy was like, "Oh, why don't you talk about new coins, new coins?" Bro, there's a million coins coming out a day. I can't speak about all of them. Yes, I can make videos on them, but then the problem with that is people will think I'm buying them. That's the real problem. I'm not buying all of these coins. I always talk about. Like, I don't hold every single coin on here. I don't. So they're just good projects. So yeah, I mean, you can't really catch the exact bottom. It's impossible, to be honest. But if you can get lucky, you can. Aki token is very good fundamentally, but the only problem, in my opinion, is the vesting schedule is quite harsh. I don't know if they've fixed it or they've changed it, but there's going to be a lot of selling pressure. Like, it's okay now when AI is kind of hot and these influencers are shilling it and it's kind of pumping. But then you go look at the vesting schedule, that's very harsh. There's unlocks every day. And if it doesn't really show the fundraising, but I kind of want to see how much these guys are up. But look, it's not a low cap anymore. It's $66 million in market cap. So yeah, it's about like 2x dilution to like August. Let's say August. It's not a low cap, bro. This is a very high cap coin. But look how much tokens are being unlocked. Look at this. Community pre-sale, KOL pre-sale, advisors pre-sale, pre-sale seed, pre-sales. This is everyone's early investors that keeps unlocking every day. There's a lot of selling pressure, bro. And once the initial excitement goes for this project, it's very likely it's just going to dump back down heavily, because all those guys that are up and they get their tokens every single day, they're going to continuously sell because they're up on the investment. Doesn't make sense. All crypto portfolio down 50%, lol. I'm still in profits, bro, but realistically, I would not be surprised if people's portfolios back down now again. I wouldn't be surprised. The reason is because most of these coins are basically back down to like the September lows, or some of them are back down to the August lows even. So I wouldn't be surprised, my friend. But this is what you have to go through to see an alt season, bro. It's not for the weak. Like, this type of market is not for the weak. The business cycle. This is the first business cycle that crypto has gone through. And that's why everyone's confused. Like, oh, isn't it confusing that that Ethereum's not going up. It's not confusing. It's because we're in a business cycle and the macros are not looking good. In the past at least, every single time Ethereum has gone up is because we've always had good monetary policies and there's always been QE. This is the first real cycle where there hasn't been QE, where there hasn't been injection of liquidity into the markets, where there's lower rates. We haven't had that yet, and that's why Ethereum is struggling. That's all it is. When I guarantee you, if QE was to start tomorrow, Ethereum will shoot up to 4K in like a day, and it will continue to go up after that. That's all it takes. It just takes QE, and people don't understand that. They think there's something wrong with Ethereum. There's technically nothing wrong with Ethereum. It's just that the type of money that moves Ethereum is smart money, and smart money is not looking to buy crypto right now. They're sitting in cash, or they're sitting in gold, or they're sitting in Bitcoin. That's it. Because Bitcoin can go down like another 10%, which is fuck all for crypto purposes. Ethereum might go down 20%. That's how it works. I think maybe, but I do see the 10-year bottom topping out sometime in Q1, whether it takes another month, takes another couple of weeks. The market won't go do anything until we get good unemployment prints, because all we really need, inflation prints, because all we really need is, if inflation comes in good on Tuesday and Wednesday, the market will rally back up very fast, because that's what people are concerned about. If there's nothing to be concerned about and is looking okay, then it's very, very likely that the market will rally. All we need is like 4 to 5 months, or even 3 to 5 months of good inflation numbers and good unemployment numbers, and we will have a good alt season. That's all it takes. That's all we need. We have a big delay this bull run compared to 2021, 100%. Because in 2021 we had QE. That's why, my friend. This is a business cycle. People don't understand business cycle. Chirp, dead cat bounce on your off your recommended list. I'm still keeping Chirp now. It'll still be on my recommended list for now. Is Maniki a good buy? I wouldn't be buying meme coins now. I think like the meme coin shit kind of died down now. If you look at the charts, memes have taken a massive hit because people are now moving to AI memes and AI agents. That's where most of the money is. People don't care about meme coins no more. It's kind of took a step back. It may come back again, and when it does come back, yes, you will see stuff like Maniki rally, all these cats and dogs and all these other bullshit turtles. They're gonna rally, but at the moment, no one's doing nothing. Like there's some there's some AI memes pumping on Solana, and that's really it for the markets. Everything just holding steady. No one's really doing anything. I think everyone's just waiting for Tuesday and Wednesday, which is going to be a very big day for the markets. Well, look, I think at the moment perception, well, they're forecasting for the market is they're expecting core PPI month over month to come in at 3%, which is pretty good. They want core PPI to come in at 2%, which is what they're forecasting. Core PPI year on the year will come in 3.4, which is as expected. If it comes into those regions, I think it will be good. And then I think Wednesday is the big day where we actually get the inflation numbers. And so, they're expecting inflation to go back up to 2.9%. So let's say it stays 2.7, the market will rally because they think, oh, there's nothing to worry about then. But if it goes up to like 2.8, the market will sell off slowly. If it goes to 2.9, which is what's forecasted, I think there will be, a wider move down, maybe to like the 85, 87, 88K region. That's something to look out for. So it's it's hard to tell because, we had unemployment was projected to come in at 4.3%, and it came in at 4.2, I think it was. Let me double check this week. No, I need to go last week. Hold on. Previous week, there he is. Where's the unemployment numbers? Well, it's on Friday. Hold on, it was Friday. Oh yeah, unemployment rate. So they were expecting 4.3%. That's what the projection, the forecast was, and it came in at 4.1%. So we could see the exact same thing play out where they're forecasting 2.9%, but in reality, it could go down to 2.6 or even 2.7, which then the market will rally because there's nothing to worry about realistically until next month. So the market will rally throughout January into February to see what happens in Feb, and then in February it will slow down. It's kind of like a repeat of 2024, where the market will rally, rally, rally in the middle of the month, and then towards the end of the month, going into the start of the next month, the market will stall and dump because everyone's scared of the unemployment print. And then when unemployment print came in bullish, it will rally again. That's basically the same thing could happen again. That's why the business cycle is not for the weak. If he showed it, I've seen it. He showed it an hour ago. There's no point buying it now, and he doesn't show low caps anymore. Like there was one time where I had my notifications on for AIXBT, and he showed a 2 million coin. Right, it was a 2 million coin. They partnered with A1Z1. At that point, A1Z1 was rallying 2 million. Literally within a day, that coin did a 10x. But he can't really move high caps anymore because he does it all the time now. So I would say no, my friend. I wouldn't say that's a good trade. ChainGPT performed really well. Yeah, it did. ChainGPT is a very good project overall, and they got the Binance listing and it performed. There's a difference between a good coin like ChainGPT got listed on Binance and had a very good and aggressive rally, and it's kind of holding up to some degree, right? So he obviously dumped, but then you look at Cookie. Cookie got listed on Binance as well, right? It had this pump right here and is almost down back to the lows. So it got sold off very aggressively. But this is now on Binance as well, which is crazy to think that this coin got on Binance, in my opinion. I like Peak. I think Peak will do well, but I think Peak has a lot of potential to be like maybe the next Solana or something. You looked into autos or the Bitcoin. I have looked into autos. I'm not a fan of it, no. Can prop base go lower or is this the time to buy? I would DCA. Like you cannot go wrong buying prop base at these levels. You can't. I don't think you can. And the reason I say that is because prop base is actually tokenizing a massive and a very well-known hotel in Bangkok or in Thailand somewhere. It's a very very luxury hotel. And I think that will be massive for it. And you guys can invest into it, and get yield on it. But I don't think you can go wrong buying prop base right here. You can't. It's at $6. It's below. It could come down to like these regions. It could. Is that a possibility? I wouldn't bet my money on it. But if Bitcoin goes down, yes, you can come down to like the 5.5, and I would be buying loads of those regions, loads. But maybe get like an initial now, get something in now, and then if it goes down, DCA more. But yeah, like I said, it all depends on Tuesday and Wednesday. That's the thing. My brother, listen, every single coin on what's it called on deck screen, and you're gonna hear this KOL say it's gonna 100x, but don't believe them because no one knows what's gonna 100x. No one knows. They're just gonna call everything 100x so retail can buy and they can literally dump on you. So that's how it is. How many X's do I think Sniff can do? I think Sniff could do a lot because it caters to the right narrative. And I think the next big narrative in crypto is going to be AI gaming. I think there's going to be a section there's going to be a section on crypto rank that's going to be a category, let's say, on crypto rank. On CoinGecko, sorry, called AI gaming. And when that opens up, it's going to, create a lot of hype. When they created the AI agent section category on CoinGecko, the narrative started from there. And when back in 2022, when they created the AI section in general for CoinGecko, the AI rally started from there. So when the AI gaming comes out and as a category, I think most people are going to be focused on that narrative. And Snift covers that narrative, which is very good. Feels good to see you, brother. Sentiment seems to be bad. I kind of like it because we really need this shakeout the weekends. We kind of need to shake out retail that came into the markets. Retail that came into the markets need to get shaken out. That's what happened. We got the market can't have retail winning as well. It doesn't make sense. The whole point of retail is to come in pumper bags and they lose out. But if all these retail was coming in because of Trump and they were winning, the market will do the opposite. So that the thing is like some of our coins will never go back to our buying price. It will never happen. So it's kind of pointless to sell them now because the market will switch just like that, right? It will switch just like that. As soon as you get 1 month, 2 month good, inflation prints, boom, the market is going to take off again. And if you're one of those people that have this, this concept of let me sell now and buy back later, you're going to miss out. That's a very risky thing to do, in my opinion. Like you've just waited 3-4 years of the market doing fuck all, and no, most of you didn't take profits back in March anyways when the market rallied. You've just spent that period of time, right, to basically miss the entire boat because you want something 10-20% cheaper. Like how stupid do you think that you'd feel that you've just missed the entire boat because you've sold your positions? Why would you take that risk after waiting so long? It doesn't make sense. You've waited 3 years just for you to sell your position and hope that it goes down 10-20% lower to buy. And the thing is, when it goes 10-20% lower, you might think it will go back up again. It'll go down further, and you end up missing everything. So I don't like some weeks, some months, your portfolio will be down more than others. It's not a problem. You have to stomach it. You have to be able to just don't look at it. Then if it's down, don't look at it. Just zoom out. Sometimes it helps to zoom out and or don't look at your portfolio for a bit. Playing that game is risky, but sometimes it works out for you. But a majority of the time, it doesn't. Sometimes it does genuinely work out. So I can't say it's always good and bad, but I don't really like doing stuff like that. It becomes a bad habit. It becomes a very bad habit because there's going to be a time where it does work out for you, and there's going to be a time where it doesn't work out for you and you miss out a lot of gains. Will you do more pre-sale in the private group? Of course, I'll do plenty of pre-sale in the bear market. Like when the bear market starts, it's going to be pre-sale because now the way I've done it this time is I've done it manually. So I've reached out to that project and I said, can I get pre-sale allocation? I offer this for you guys. Can I get some allocation? And they're like, okay, I like what you're doing. Yes, you can get something. But then when I get my VC to do it, it's less headache because the VC will do everything for you. They'll do everything for you. All you have to do is just raise the money, which is easy, right? So you send them the money and they sort everything out. You just have to fill out a form, send your ETH on there, whatever they want, USDT on the ETH, whatever they want, right? And, they sort everything out behind the closed doors. Whereas the private sale I just done now, I had to do everything myself, which is a lot of admin work and it's a lot of headache. But yeah, I will be doing plenty of pre-sales in the bear market, bro, because you're going to get these projects that are going to be very undervalued. They're going to come out and they're going to do very well. So yeah, I will be doing plenty more, Khalid, don't worry. H-Bomb, good to see you, brother. Ross, good to see you, my friend. Ivo, good to see you, buddy. Did you sell again before dump March in order to buy back lower? And you did like you did. Yes, I did do that. I sold a lot in March. I sold literally every position I had. I took profits on and I moonbagged quite a lot. This is the thing with moonbags, right? Some moonbags literally die, like my Lit Labs moonbag, and I left a quite sizable moonbag. I'm very open about my positions. I left like 500,000 of this token Lit Labs. I took profits and I made like a 30x on it because I was buying down here. When everyone was calling it dog, basically it was a dead coin. No one knew what it was. But then when gaming took off, it done approximately a 30x from here, right? A little bit more than that actually, or I can't remember how much it done, but it done a good amount of gains. For 25x or some shit. And then I took profits, but I left a very good moon bag. And now my moon bag is fucking worth less than what I had. It's worth fuck all now. So that's the problem with some moon bags, you know. They die out because the project maybe just disappears. So that's something you have to consider as well when you leave a moon bag. Some of these projects won't be around next cycle. So when you do leave a moon bag, you know, when we go to taking profit stage, when we have a good old season, you have to look and zoom out and think, do I genuinely see this project surviving the bear market and developing in a bear market and then rallying next cycle? Because the people that bought, for example, Cardano last cycle are still up huge amounts this cycle. So if you believe some of these projects can do well, it's okay to hold them and leave a good moon bag or sizable moon bag, you know, for it to do well in the next cycle. And then your moon bag could go on to do an extra 100x because you bought down here, you know, let's say in the bear market, it comes down here, then it rallies back up and goes higher. That's a possibility. Some of them, most of them, quite a few of them will just do this because the team will just abandon the project and load something else. But yeah, I took profits, but would I recommend doing it now? I don't really recommend it unless we get, you know, some bad inflation prints. Then I'll be like, yes, I would start booking some profits and stuff that I'm up on, because it's very, very likely that we might go into 2024 again, into 2025. We might have another, you know, another couple of months of bearish price action. But then, like I said, the reason we're struggling now is mainly because of the long end of the yield curve. Now, there is no stopping this at the moment. No one knows where it's going to top out, but I would say around 5% is a good region. You know, then I will start to look to accumulate when this goes over here. I will accumulate heavier because, yes, it might wick up slightly, but that would most likely will be the top. And one of the things that could cross this and crash the dollar could be the Bank of Japan. It could be. The Bank of Japan could raise the interest rates and cause the dollar to crash and the long end of the yield curve to crash. Or it could just be the TLT bounces and the long end of the yield curve goes up. You know, this is the most optimistic scenario. When this bounces, people start buying the bonds, start buying debt, US debt. At the moment, no one's interested in debt. That's why this continues to go up. The long end keeps going up. But when this hits 5%, people like the yield on that. People take the yield on that. And, you know, then the dollar goes down as well. And our Bitcoin, our crypto goes up with it. And the S&P as well. Boys, smash the like button. 13 people watching. There's 134 people watching now, and there's only 56 likes. Let's get to 100 likes instantly. Let's get to 100 likes right now. I would appreciate that loads. What would happen if Los Angeles, the government, go print more money for it? They kind of have. Well, the government kind of have to print more money. You know, what will happen is next month is going to be very interesting because it's very likely unemployment will go up because there's going to be a lot of people. There's going to be a whole state. LA is a decent sized state, I'm pretty sure. If it's most of it is burned down, unemployment, that's a lot of unemployed people. So it's very likely unemployment will go back up. And, you know, realistically, 150 million, I think the damages, it's not a lot for the US government. It's not a lot. They send that to fucking Ukraine every other week. So, well, yeah, but they send billions to Ukraine. But 150 billion is a lot. And, you know, if they have to print more, it's not really good, is it? So that's going to play a role as well in the market, definitely. The recent pump on AI tech is because they got listed on crypto.com's wallet. Pretty sure that's what it is. And on top of that, they're doing, it's not like AI techs. This is the thing though, right? If a project's not developing, then I become bearish on it. I no longer have interest. I don't care about price action because, like I said, you can't judge a project when dominance is at 58%. You can't. Yes, there's projects that outperform, but I'm not going to judge a high cap project because dominance is so high. Now, if AI tech stop developing, then I would be concerned. Yes, I would think these guys are not developing. They're not updating us. You know, I would start to get bearish. At the moment, they're doing a lot of developments. They're doing, you know, they're doing massive grants. AI agent grants, giving out millions of dollars. They're consistently working, and that's what you kind of want to see. Look, this is the data center update. They're working on it, and that's all that matters at the moment. This is BSC daily, which is the Binance chain, update. Star is on there, Snift is on there, AI Tech is on there, a bunch of other projects on. So Chain GPT is on there. So these guys are working. They're working. This is what I was talking about. They got listed on crypto.com, and their volume within 24 hours reached 5.3 million, which is a lot. So it's quite a lot of volume. Which is, I think that's very bullish. Very bullish. With the pink toilets, bro. I don't even know why they need to update shit like that, bro. It doesn't even make sense. Why are you showing us what color toilets you have? Good to see you as well, buddy. Football match, Real Madrid versus Barcelona now. Damn. I need to get off there anyways. I gotta go somewhere after this anyways. Got to go to family house. Those toilets, the best toilets ever installed. Yo. Yeah, AI Tech's toilets are bullish, to be fair. They keep posting the toilets, bro. It's so stupid. We need 10 months of good inflation and 1 to 2 months of bad unemployment for the Fed to come to the rescue for QE. I would say so, yes. That's exactly right, Greek. But we kind of had at least 4 or 5 months of good inflation. But if inflation starts going back down, which would be lovely, I think that would be good for the markets. Ava, let's have a look at Ava. Ava AI. This looks like a fucking DJ and coin that just come out. All-in-one automation platform for DeFi AI. I think DeFi AI has some. I think it has a chance, and that's what Snift does as well. Snift is like DeFi AI as well. So they're implementing DeFi within AI. That is no code simplicity. This is not too bad actually. It has the potential to pump at some point. I think. Drag and drop AI agents workflow X to root Uniswap. That's pretty good actually. Tokenize your agents. Look, these guys are looking to do a lot of bullish stuff, it seems. But the thing is there a product? Because what tends to happen is, these projects come out and they do very, very well initially. And, but over time, if they don't develop nothing, they don't show no developments of the actual product, then it just dies down because people are not stupid anymore. There's so many AI agents. People only want the ones that work. These guys are offering a lot of bullish stuff, tokenizing AI agents, multiple LLM infrastructures, drag and drop AI agents, with just simple post, and you'll basically develop that, maybe you post about an agent on Twitter, on X, and then it will just launch it for you. It's quite bullish, right? But if there's no real product, so fucking useless. It's just a concept. People just want quick money, and people don't fall for these type of shits anymore. So they value for 1 or 2 days. If there's no product following it and the initial pump, then they all just died out, and the new one comes out and no one gives a shit about those again. So if they don't update no products, then I wouldn't touch it T30. But it has a bullish concept for sure. And this is the thing though, right? When these agents are coming out now and they don't have a docs team, treat them as like short-term trades, nothing more. Do you think new AI coins on Sui are worth? If they're good, most of them are just dog shit, bro. It's like if you call something Sui agents, is most likely going to be a scam, because what you're doing is you're looking at Sui performing well and you're looking at AI agents performing well, and you're combining it and you're launching a project and you don't even have a docs team. That's going to be a dog shit project that's going to rug soon, in a month or two. How much props and alt is enough? I don't really think you can have enough of each, to be honest, bro. I can see alt being around for at least another cycle, and I can see props being around for another cycle. This is the thing with RWA coins. They stay around for a very long time. They're not just one cycle projects. They're not just 5-month projects. They're here for a long time. So, even if props goes down in the short term, in the grand scheme of things, they're very unlikely to rug. And the same thing with alt, they're very unlikely to rug. and they will continue to develop, and eventually, the more developments you have, the better your project becomes, the more attraction it becomes, the more attention it gets, and more people start to realize that this is a good project. So yeah, I like both of those a lot. But this is the thing, though, right? People want new coins every day, but it's like, what would you rather have? Because when the bull run takes off, would you rather have 50 projects that you have to analyze every single day, or would you rather have 15 projects and you have large amounts of money in them, and all you need is a smaller amount to gain? Because when you have 50 projects, you're spreading thin. You're looking for the 50 to 100 X's, which most of them just die anyways. You're not even going to get those. When you have a smaller portfolio, but you have a more stacked portfolio, all you need is 20, 30X instead of the 50 to 100X to cost 50 coins. That's the difference. It's less headache. All the people that have never seen or experienced the bull run, they don't understand how stressful it is to fucking juggle 50 coins, 30 coins in a bull run. They don't understand. Bro, imagine tracking 30 coins in a bull run. Imagine the amount of greed, the amount of emotions that's going to come into play when it's time to sell. And you got 500 in the coin, it's done a 30X, 40X, and you're like, oh, bro, it's only 500. Let me wait to the 100X. And then it just rug pulls the next day. It's like that's what happens, right? Because you're spreading into degen projects. That, bro, like I tell people, if you want that type of guy, go watch fucking Gains and Superman. They got a new 1000X every other day. A new 1000X every day, bro. They'll post a 1000X coin every day. So it's all stupid, but it's scammy in my opinion. Me personally, the way I've made money in crypto is I've had a smaller portfolio of very solid projects that I know are less likely to rug in a bull run, and I don't have to stress in the middle of the night waking up to check if it's rug pulled or not. Because I've done that before. I've done what most of these guys want to do, which is has spread thin across multiple different projects, and you guys don't understand how stressful that is in a bull run, bro. Trust me, you're gonna be awake all night on your phone, 24 hours, because you just don't know when they're gonna. Once one's rug pulls, you're not gonna sleep, bro. You're not gonna sleep for a long time, I promise you, because you're gonna just keep up watching the chart every 5 minutes. Every 2 seconds, you're gonna be watching the chart. I don't want to go through that shit again, bro. And that's why I had to have solid portfolio, concise, but larger allocations, and don't have to, worry in the middle of the night thinking is it gonna rug or not. That's the difference, bro. That's the difference between looking for a new coin every day, and you can trade them, of course. But the problem with just, as a YouTuber giving too many trade alerts, bro, what happens when all of them rug? Everyone's gonna start calling you a scammer. Okay, good to see you, boys. It really sad that how AIXBT or these agents memes stole the liquidity, which means not really. No, I don't really think anyone has stole the liquidity for Sensei. I think the money flow is different. The money flow is different right now. The money flow is in AI memes. Eventually, we'll go back to utility AI agents, and then those will start pumping. Like the money flows differently, bro. And we're not in a old season anyway, so everyone's fighting for liquidity. Literally every narrative is fighting for liquidity right now. Only one narrative could win, and it seems at the moment is AI memes. That's it. It's that simple, bro. Every single narrative is fighting for the liquidity. Some narratives are losing massively, like fucking game is losing. Layer ones are losing. DeFi is fucking probably the worst performing asset the last 3 years. DeFi is losing. DeFi is literally at the lows of the lows. Then it's probably gaming, at least the last year. So all of these fuckers are fighting for liquidity, and only one could win because we're not in the alt season and we're not in looser monetary policies. That's why this cycle is so different. Top is in, come back in 2025. You do that, my friend. I'm not doing that. Bro said come back in 2027. Does it look like Britain's ever going to be back to lows? I don't think Britain will ever go that low, bro, to be honest with you. I don't really. No, I don't think Britain will ever go that low, bro, ever. It's like everyone knows about it too much and too many people like the project. Don't have a crystal ball, but you mentioned you expect QE by end of the year. How exactly you might expect that happen? I don't think I've said I expect QE by the end of the year. I think we'll have an alt season by the end of the year for sure. You don't always need QE for an alt season. All you need is good data for a couple of months where unemployment is steady and inflation is steady, and the market will continue to rally. That's what it is. Like the market doesn't need a reason to go down. I mean to go up. It needs a reason to go down. Otherwise, the market always trends higher because of the constant money printing that's happening and because of because of inflation. It's as simple as that, bro. Like the more money that gets printed, these assets have to be leveraged higher to match the money printing. So the market always needs a reason to go down. That's it. If there's no reason to go down, the market just genuinely goes higher. So when there's no reason, everything will just rally up, bro. And even now, despite this uncertainty, dominance is struggling to break his long-term trend line. It goes above and cools off, and now is struggling again. So I can see this going down eventually, at least, and the money will flow out. So what's the percentage of your portfolio second too high? I think that's too high. Yeah, it needs to be like 1, 2, 3 max. If inflation comes in higher than we dump, do we think we'll stay low sideways until next data? I imagine then stay cautious. Well, look, if inflation comes in bearish and Trump comes in and says some new policies that's gonna show is bullish, the market will just rally back up. That's how it is. So it all depends. I think there's like billions and billions sitting in cash in Binance waiting for Trump to come in. And that is what everyone's kind of waiting for. All the USDT, I think there's like 50 something billion on Binance alone sitting in cash. And at the same time, we got the FTX repayments. That's another like 5-6 billion. There's a lot of money on the side ready to come in. It's just they're waiting for the right time. So the market will pump again, no doubt. It's just a matter of how long it's going to stay consolidated till we go back up. But look, you guys gotta realize, like all of these government, the new people that come into office, bro, they're not gonna want to come in and deal with a recession, bro. Like every single president that came in started QE. It's that simple. All of them printed, bro. Every single one of them. Trump came in printed. Biden came in printed. The one before Trump came in printed. Obama. All of these fuckers printed money. Whether it's 5 trillion, 6 trillion, like these guys have egos. They all have egos. They're not gonna want to come in and face the bullshit. So of course they're gonna print. They're gonna print. They're gonna make sure the economy is doing well. They're gonna blame Biden. They're gonna come in and say Biden did this, Biden done that. I'm here to do this and that. The economy is gonna improve slightly, whether it's all fucking fabricated or not. Who gives a shit? They've fucking fabricated the unemployment data for the past 2 years. They'll say it came in 4.1, then they revise it to 4.3. They opened this many jobs, and then millions of jobs got revised, and none of these jobs were existent. That's how these guys do it. It's all fucking lies. Eventually, if you don't come out of the markets in time, you're gonna get caught out with your pants open, because at some point they can't, they cannot keep lying. It'll come out eventually, and when that happens, we could go into a recession. The market could drop stupid amounts in one day. Will Neuro AI be a good hold for AI gaming? Neuro AI, not really. I think it's too much pump. It's pumped too much now. But it will pump though because of Alex Becker for sure. Heart is not too bad, bro. It's not too bad at all. It's like a good safety net, I would say. Anyways, guys, I might have to get off in the next 5 minutes, bro, because I kind of have to go somewhere. One thing I don't like about props is that it's 21x from the idol. You do realize all the early investors in prop base is long gone. They're all gone, my friend. All the early investors in prop base are gone. Their tokens already been invested. So there's nothing really to be disliked about prop base. And if you watch the AMA, they already said they're gonna make the token deflationary, reduce the unlocks or whatever unlocks they were having, they're gonna reduce that. Massive reduction in token unlocks. So they have a lot of good stuff coming up this year. Go to the Twitter and you see the roadmap. Token unlock reduction was one of the most important ones for them. But in terms of early investors, they're already out. Probably it's not a new token; it's been around for a while. I wouldn't hold any into 2026. Nah, I definitely wouldn't, bro. I will keep some moon bags depending on how much they pump, but moon bags, I don't really care. Like if they die, they die. That's how I treat them. I actually did apply for AUT. I did do that. They have not got back to me yet. No, they haven't got back to me. T13, bro. I applied for them. I applied to be an ambassador for AUT, but let's see it. I would wait, Frog. I would wait. I would wait for the unemployment print. I mean, for the inflation print. I definitely would not be DCAing too much now. You can DCA like 50 little bits here and there. But in terms of like heavy DCA and going a bit heavier, I wouldn't touch anything till Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm pretty sure AUT is going to be here. That's what I'm thinking. Like, AUT is one. I'm going to stake throughout the bear market. That's exactly right, Creek. I will be staking my AUT. Whether it's 20% I leave, 15% I leave, whatever I leave, I'll be staking that for a long time. Was the last cycle less stressful than this? Nah, last cycle was the exact same thing. But every cycle, there's always something to be worried about. Last cycle, there was a lot of talks of recession as well, bro. And then we had the COVID shit. This cycle, we're having a lot of recessions. Let's see what they do this cycle. On the roadmap, AI Tech shows conservative $3, $10. They probably know something we don't. I think they changed that roadmap. That was the old roadmap. But AI Tech will do well though, for sure. But that's just to hype up the investors though. New was a dog shit, but I would not be buying that project. That's a fucking dog shit project. I am bullish on based AI, yes. They do like real AI agents that develop on their own. Like that's one project that have real. You guys gotta realize most of these AI agent projects are just fugazi, they're fake. Fugazi, they're not real, right? So when you have a real AI agent develops on their own, like for example, the A1 XBT, that's not a real agent. Yes, they might text on his own, but that's all data that they implement within the data that the bot has. That's a bot. It's not a real agent. A real agent, when I asked A1 XBT, whatever the fuck it's called, right? AI XBT, I asked him, what do you think about AUT? He said it's not in his terminal, meaning the data for AUT has not been added to his terminal. So then you have to think, if that was a real agent, he would have went and done his own research, and he would have come back to me and said, "This is what I think." That's what real agents are supposed to be. AI agents. They're supposed to develop on their own without any intervention, without human intervention. And that's what based AI's creatures are supposed to be. That's the difference, right? So that's what real agents are supposed to be. There's a difference between most of these agents that are just, all data. And that A1 XBT is not a real agent, bro. Yes, he can tweet on his own, but it's all data that's been added to him, and they're going to continue to add more data into him. But that's not a real agent, in my opinion, at least. With how currently trending 2025, do you expect dominance to start dropping? Definitely, I see dominance start dropping, and I see the long and the yield curve start dropping. I'm seeing the dollar start dropping sometime this year. Definitely, no doubt. What do I think about Crudify? Crudify is good. I hold a moon bag, but would I recommend you buy it? No, I think I just don't really see it doing too well. Zyro, I wouldn't buy. I don't like buying anything off launch country, Jamie. The reason I say that is because buying stuff off launch is good, but the market is bullish. The market is not bullish right now; it's in stagnant. So you buy anything off launch, and might end up regretting it because most of them just dump back down to shits. Kip, let me see. I think Kip is not a bad project. Kip is not a bad project. 24 million. Nah, it hasn't bottomed out yet. There's quite a lot of unlocks as well for this, so you have to keep that in mind. Anyways, guys, just a quick hour stream today because I do have to go somewhere. LA's size 20 plus London's. Fucking hell. It's crazy, that is. Am I bullish on 01 Labs? Yeah, it did fuck up the momentum. And with the Bitcoin dropping, it didn't really help either. But I think it will still do okay, though. What about Deve is performing better than Tectum? Let me see. I think Deve might. I think a lot of projects perform better than Tectum. Yeah, it's doing very well, to be fair. Doing very well. I can't really say anything bad about Deve or the price section. Well, you say that, but look how much you dumped. Look how much you dumped before you pumped. Most people bought this back up here. They would have been fucked. They would just been breaking even now. But look how much this dumped, though. It's dumped from $2 almost down to 15 cents. That's a massive drop. Whereas, imagine you bought over here or over here or over here. You would have been fucking fucked down here. You would have had a lot of conviction. You know, AI Tectum hasn't done that yet. It's down like 30, 40%, 50% max, depending on when you bought it. So that's a massive drop. But like I said, it all depends on when you buy. But you're not wrong, though. It has been performing way better than fucking Tectum has. And the reason it's performing well is because they claim to fucking have like, I don't know how much, 5-6 million TPS. I don't know if they have a testnet or a mainnet. But like I said, if you don't have a testnet, you don't have a mainnet, you're all just a concept. That's all it is. The front end of tokenization and real blockchain adoption. It's like they changed the whole concept. This was just a layer one. Now they're doing tokenization, so that's pretty good. But I think Tectum will start picking up once their mainnet and testnet is done. Yeah, you're not relying still, even Tech. Yeah, that's true, actually. Yeah, but this is like a fucking 20x drop. Tectum's like a 10x drop. Yeah, that chart looks shit as well. Yo, yeah, the website looks horrible, to be fair. As a believer in macro trends, I'm confident the US liquidity will bring us the kind of profits. Boy, what the fuck does that sound like? You just copied and pasted it. Yeah, Tet did destroy a lot of rectums, though. It's not Tectum, it's rectum. Tectum fucked a lot of people up. Oh, I can't lie. They just need to release their layer one, bro. That's all they need to do, and it will do very well. Fucking hell, man. This is it's just poor team management. That's all it is. It's just poor team management. Project's not a scam. It's just poor team management. But anyways, guys, appreciate all of you that came down today. I do have to get off now because I have to go somewhere. But appreciate all of you guys that came down. Drop a like on your way out. Next live stream, I'll do the AI agent tier list. I think I can do a nice AI agent tier list. Go on CoinGecko, go on Deck Screener, find some of these good AI agents, and we can rank them. I think that would be quite good.